All right, so we're going to make these super snowflakes here. There's two different kinds. This is the easiest one. This, we're going to do the cuts and folds on one side and then tape it to exactly the same thing on the back side. This would be if you're going to hang it up. And you can see that this gets smushed. Now, if you want to put it on um, a wall or another piece of paper, or say you're giving it to somebody as a present, you don't want to have that. So I'm going to show you the other way as well, so that you have a flat back and that all the curls are coming to the front and nothing gets smushed. So if you're going to make this to hang up, don't worry if it gets a little bent over. You just need to gently bend them back. And I'm gonna, since this is white on white, this is kind of difficult to see where everything goes. So I'm going to use some colored paper to show you how to do this. You only need two pieces of paper, um, and they can be any colors that you want. This might be a good time to get out any spare supplies you have, like maybe some fun metallic markers or gems or something, if you want to decorate the center. I'm not going to do that, but I was having some trouble doing this with white glue. I would definitely recommend using a glue stick for this project, and you're going to need some scissors. So both types of those snowflakes are made the same way with two sheets of paper. So I'm going to do them with contrasting sheets of paper so that you can see what happens with the folds. So if you want to do that and you have extra paper around, that's fine. I usually don't have colored paper, but I just happen to bring some home. So what I want to do is I need to make this paper square for cutting so that it's as big as possible. These look really nice when you make them small, but you do want to start out with a square. It just makes it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two together, and I'm just going to fold them over to this edge and be very, very careful to line it up and smash it on down center to edge. Okay, so now I've got both my pieces of paper folded here together, and I want to get rid of this extra. So if you're doing this with two white sheets, you'll still see this. You'll still see the white extra sticking up. We're going to go ahead and cut that off. Okay, so there's my extra that I didn't need anymore. And I'm going to do the same thing with my purple. So I'm just going to put my white and my purple together. Fold it down to make a nice triangle. So I'm trying to get my edges lined up and make a nice point at the top. Sometimes it just does not want to cooperate. So in this case, you know, if it's not cooperating, you can do each paper separately. You might want to do that just so that you get that nice point in the center. So smash this on down and cut our edge off. All right. Now, we know that when we cut snowflakes out, this is going to be the center. So this is what we need to pay attention to when we fold. So it's okay that if you're losing track of where you are, that you fold this back up and say, okay, which fold is the center fold? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and separate my papers, okay, and make my second fold. So what I want to do is look for that longest side. So these are definitely shorter because we just took a square and made it into two triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and fold along the fold my white sheet and press down. And here's my fold on my purple one, and I'm going to fold over on it again and press down. So at this point, if you open it back up, you would see 4. Right? I'm going to do the same thing on the blue one. Separate them out. Find my long side there that I folded on. Fold again. And I'll fold again. Okay. So from here is the tricky part. This is the last fold. Let me put the blue one over here because we just want to focus on this. And if you get lost and you can't tell what you're doing, just go ahead and rewind the video because this is the important part. Now, when we look at it and we open it back up, we see that these are coming towards the center. So we want to fold it up knowing where that center is. And I'm just keeping my thumb right there on that center point. I want to make one more fold and I want to make sure that it goes over that center point. So I could tell you to go ahead and do the open sides if that works for you. These sides are open, these don't have folds on them. And we can fold over one more time, but I know this is my center point, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my two folded sides together. I'm going to do this with all four. So there's my center point. I'm going to take my folded side and put it with my other folded side, make a nice point, push them together. So here's my two for my purple one, and here's my two for my blue one. Take my folded side over with my folded side. And my last white sheet. All right, so when we work on these, I'm going to go ahead and do the white for the second one. I want you to get a idea of how to do this with the colored paper. I think it might show up a little bit better on the screen than just plain white. So once we've done one, if you're going to do just the plain one to hang up, you would repeat it. And then if you want to do the one where you're going to hang it up on the wall, you need to stick around for the end of that. We'll make that one the purple one. So for my blue one, I'm going to do this on all of them. If I were going to open this back up, I would see that I have 8 cross points. This is a great way to make a snowflake if you don't mind it having 8 points instead of 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3 folds. And I need to still be aware of where that center point is, but I know where it is. All I got to do is open it back up. Ah, center point's definitely over here. Because the open edges are still on the outside of every single one of these. So here's my center point. We folded our 2 folded sides together. We've got open edges here. All right, so what I want to do from here is I want to make sure that I'm cutting the right way on here. I don't want my points to be on this fold. I want to make this as big as possible, so I want my biggest side. And what I'm going to do is cut sort of like a flower petal. I want to show you what it looks like before we cut it out.